Hey there. Although I am involved with CADAC, the Center of ADHD Awareness Canada, the views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the participants and do not reflect those of CADAC. And now, cue the music.
This is the Impulsive Thinker Podcast, a show for high-achieving ADHD entrepreneurs. Together, we will inform and educate you about how to improve your self-awareness while developing systems, routines, and habits for conquering the entrepreneurial world. Here is your host, André Brisson.
Hey there, it's André with another short for the Impulsive Thinker Podcast. This episode is brought to you by CADAC, the Center of ADHD Awareness Canada. You can get more information about CADAC at www.caddac.ca. I thought I'd share a little bit of insight in my undiagnosed days because I've been getting this question a lot lately. People are starting to approach me and trying to understand why I'm talking more about ADHD. What's the difference between ADHD, brain, and other things? And what's the difference between an ADHD entrepreneur and a typical, highly achieving, ambitious entrepreneur? So I thought I'd share what my 20 years of my engineering career was like, undiagnosed. I think a lot of you will relate to this. You non-ADHDers will get an understanding because now what I used to do was all about maintaining to keeping my brain firing on all cylinders so I can stay motivated and keep going and continue. So what I ended up doing after my first therapist I had when I first got diagnosed with my life tempest, the one thing she highlighted to me was very, very profound. I hyper-focused on my career for 20 years. And what she said was true. That's the only thing I did. It was nothing but career, nothing about my company, all about my company, building the company. It was just about that. And hyper-focus, that really got me zoned in and firing all cylinders on that. But not only that. Some of you won't believe this is true. The ones that are ADHD, I think you will. The ones that are not ADHD will not believe it. But this was the first 15 years of my career. 20. I would work 12, 16-hour days, 7 days a week. If I wasn't working on the weekends, I was refereeing ringette, which is on an on-ice sport for women. And it's a very fast sport. So I would skate 14, 16 hours a weekend, 3-day weekend on those weekends if I wasn't working, then get back home. So here's the interesting thing. I would get up 5 in the morning, get going to work, get in before everyone gets in. But I always made sure I had very, very early appointments because that was a way for me to make sure I was getting awake. I would get awake, get up, and go. My days were always overpacked. Now what I know now and looking, I'd actually try and pack about, 20 hours worth of work in an 8-hour day. Overschedule my days, so I was jumping from one thing to another. I worked in a fabrication shop at the beginning, built a fabrication shop for the first company I worked for. I developed the structural arm of the company. So there was continuing phone calls, interruptions from the shop to help them figure out what needed to do next. Inspections, last minute emergencies from customers, always interrupting, always something new, something challenging. So then I'd say, you know what? Everyone's gone home for the day. They're going to their families. I'm just going to do a couple things so there's no one here. I can get a couple things. Next thing I know, it's 4 hours later. My wife's calling me. Where the hell are you? Aren't you coming home? Dinner's cold. And then next thing, yep, just going to finish this one thing. I'll be there. Then I get a phone call saying, you know what? I'm going to bed. Okay, that means I can work a little more. Get home about midnight, 1 o'clock, go to bed, get up at 4 or 5, get back on the road. Keep going, non-stop. Finish the projects. Projects are always late. Projects are getting done quickly and efficiently because it's always urgent, it's always going. Not very cool and calm when this pressure really got cracking. People weren't doing what I'm supposed to do. It's the term I use. I was head down, ass up, go, go, go. And this drive and tenacity and intensity really threw off my team members and my superior at the time. And then when I partnered up with them, and I brought in a third partner, they just did not get me. Go, go, go. The body was always active, always moving. My hyperactivity had to do it. I would drive to Ottawa, which is a 6-hour drive. I would do 3-4 hours of inspections outside. Doesn't matter what raining condition, winter condition, get that done. I would drive back to 6 hours, come home, midnight, 1 o'clock, go to bed, get up again at 5, and start the day over and go, go, go. And if I wasn't working at the office, I was working at home. I'm a learner. I love to learn new things. A lot of stuff was interesting and challenging, and it was nothing but hyper-focus on my career in the companies. And the thing was my ability to juggle multiple projects, complex projects, and knowing where everything was falling into place was, some customers appreciated that. My team members appreciated that when it was needed. But when it became to the point where they felt that they were able to do it or should be doing it, and I was kind of taking over the projects because they weren't getting done efficiently, then I would be stepping on toes. And then some people actually getting threatened by the super ability of doing things this way, especially under stress. And that was the other thing too. I kept my work environment, my schedule always intense and stressed. And that was a way to keep my brain going. And now understanding that high achievers, especially intellectual high achievers, the ADHD and my ease of getting into boredom, I needed to be intellectually stimulated at all times. And for me to get that, it was to keep things going, go, 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 go. People tell me to settle down, slow down. I canceled go to parties because I had to do something. I was off to tournaments. I'd even, 1 year I was refereeing over 300 games a season. But 4 or 5 years, I was moving myself up. So I'd be doing games in the evenings and on the weekends. Always on the move, always on the go. Everyone thought it's unhealthy. It is unhealthy. But at the same way, people really admire my tenacity and my endless, limitless energy to just drive, and go, go, go. Now, the one thing is, during my life tempest, I also took I started looking and says, I can't continue this way into my 50s, 60s, and 70s because my body physically will not be able to keep up to my brain. And that was an insight I did before I got diagnosed. And just talking about it now, that was an insight. But I knew I could not keep going this way. It was just not physically possible, even though I proved it. Because it wasn't fun. I knew it wasn't fun, but it was the only way I can make it fun or find enjoyment. And that constant go, go, go affected the relationships at home with my girls, my 2 daughters, and my wife, and friends. People understood me. I got this passion, but they didn't hold it personally against me. But it's frustrating to deal with people like that, and I get that. But does this in any way resonate with you? And then ever since I got diagnosed, I started to realize that the majority of the time I was keeping myself stressed is on a lot of stuff, and I should not have been doing because they were low value work that brought, it wasn't the value that I brought to it, but I just got stuff done because I just needed stuff to get done because my brain likes it when I get a lot of stuff done. Check, 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 check. I get a lot of pleasure from that. But unfortunately, that kept me away from doing stuff that was important for growth, especially my engineering company, especially for tactical breakthroughs right now. I get down these rabbit holes of pressure of multiple things to do. So I don't know if this resonates with you, or you can kind of say, yeah, that's me. Or I know quite a few people who are like that. I thought I'd share this insight because quite a few people were asking me about it. I know some of you are listening and saying, yeah, that's bullshit. That's no way you did that. And I said, well, give me a call and I'll be happy to discuss this with you. And I got probably a good 20, 30 people who can vouch for me on that one. But I'll tell you one thing, as much as it was fun, I don't think I enjoyed it as much and engaging it was not enjoyable. I know there was more to life than work, but I just got into that massive hyper focus and I couldn't derail myself even because I didn't know I had ADHD. I did not know I have an intensity and drive as a high achiever that's not like everyone. But now I know if we can help others identify that and maybe go for a diagnosis, or at least to say, hey, this is your brain, maybe there's different ways of doing it. Let's help people. Please share this episode with 2 or 3 people. Please put a comment and give me a rating so we can help more people on this. And I'd like to hear from you. You can send me an email at questions@theimpulsivethinker.com, or you can reply to the weekly newsletter it sends out about the episodes about this and what you think. I'm here to share experiences and hope it resonates with you. We can all work together to have a better life. Thanks again for listening, and take care, everyone.
Thank you for listening to the Impulsive Thinker podcast. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion for the show, please visit theimpulsivethinker.com. The Impulsive Thinker podcast is produced by Tactical Breakthroughs and hosted by André Brisson. Remember, ADHD is only a part of you, not all of you.